Hello and welcome. My name is Patricia. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in the United States, and we are going to look today at creating a card. If you would, I would love it if you would give me a thumbs up down below. If you have not already done so, if you would subscribe and then ring the bell that is right beside that subscribe button. And anytime I post a new video, it will give you a notification. Right now, we are in the midst of a benefit, if you will, for those who would like to host a party or have their own. With a $250 show, you get a minimum of a $250 show, you get a $25 extra benefit for free, whatever you would like, anything out of the catalog. So if you would like to do that, then let me know. Leave a comment on the video below and let me know you would like to do that. It does need to be before the 14th of June 2021, but if you would like to do that, please let me know. I'm more than happy to do a Zoom or Facebook or in-home if, of course, you're close to me here in Alaska. This is the card that we are going to create, or something close to this. So we'll be doing that here in just a few moments, but let's look at the annual catalog. This is the annual catalog that is current right now as of the 4th of May 2021 until April 2022. And if it is after April 2022, this catalog is no longer current. If you would like a catalog, please leave a message or go to my Facebook page, again, Stampin' with Patricia, and I'll be more than happy to get that to you. This particular stamp set is right here on page 98 of the new catalog. This is the stamp set, although right here I can show you the stamp set itself. Couple of flowers, they're 2 steps, a couple more flowers, 2 steps, the bud, there's a leaf here, some nice sentiments on that set, and then there's also the die. And if you buy the stamp set and the dies together as a bundle, you get a 10% discount. So these are the dies. These are really amazing dies. I love these. Mostly what I love are these layering dies here, and you can do a lot with them. On the card that we're doing today, we are not using this, but you see how we layered this circle. These obviously are not circles. This background piece and then the front piece. Sorry, my dogs are not happy with me at the moment, so they're growling at me. But this is the stamp and die bundle. Okay, again, that was on page 98 of the annual catalog, May 2021 to April 2022, if you would like to get that. Now, that die for the circle that we used here is the layering circles dies. And these dies are, again, fantastic. You can get pretty much whatever size circle you want, from the largest to the smallest. Actually, I think that one's the smallest. But the scalloped and the smooth edge circle. And on this one, I used the largest smooth edge and the largest scalloped edge to give me that particular background piece. And so on this one, we're going to be a little bit different. The embossing folder that we used is MEADOW Moments. For the MEADOW Moments embossing folders, there are 2 of them. This particular one has this really pretty little, it's actually leaf. I started to say floral, but it's actually leaves and dots. Really nice. The nice thing about this is because there are 2 of them, they are made to go in the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And so if I open this, you can see that that fits in there. Of course, it also will go into the standard size, but it's definitely sized correctly for the mini. So I have already die cut that, or not die cut, I have embossed that piece. I have my 2 pieces here that we're going to layer in a couple of minutes. I also have, if you look at the, where did my card, here it is. If you look at the card here, I've got 2 of the polished pink. These are the new colors that just came out in the new catalog. I could put either the fresh freesia to match the one that we have here, okay, that is like this, or I could use a DSP, Designer Series paper, and put that here. But let me show you how I made the card itself. I forgot to do that. So what I have is, I had stamped another one. I have a half of a sheet of not Whisper White, white cardstock, basic white. Oh my goodness, totally losing my mind. So I've got a half of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, cardstock I mean. I am going to fold that, and I now have my card base. Now I highly encourage you, if you're going to do this, because you notice that I'm missing a little bit of the front, to fold it and burnish it before you cut the front off. So I am going to open my card up. I am going to, on the right side here, put this at 1 inch. I'm going to make sure it's flat against the top, and I am going to cut that 1 inch off. Now be sure to save this, because this is perfect for putting sentiments on and those kinds of things. All right, so I have my paper cut here, or my base. I am now going to put my Tombow or liquid mono liquid glue, whatever it is. You know, the green stuff. It's not actually green, it's just in a green bottle. Okay, so put that on here. The reason I like to use the liquid glue is because if I don't get it down exactly right, it gives me a few seconds to adjust it. So I think I am going to go with the DSP. By the way, these other pieces come in a package. This is the 2021-2023 in colors. And you'll notice there's all five colors. There's the pale papaya, and there are 2 sides to that, and 2 sides to that one. There we go. There is the fresh freesia, this one. Again, the same backgrounds. There is soft succulent. There is polished pink and evening evergreen. Okay, gorgeous, gorgeous colors. I wasn't sure that I was going to like them when I first saw them, but I've kind of fallen in love with them, I think, once you start using them. Okay, so this is the Designer Series paper, though, and we're going to put it behind that on our, you know, if I had, oh, well, this is great. Hello, come on. Okay. And line it up. Again, it gives me a little bit of time if I don't get it exactly where I want it. Okay. There we go. I've got these 2 that are already cut out. Now, here's what I don't want to do. I don't want to put these on here and then realize, oh, I haven't stamped the front of this. So I want to stamp my circle, and I believe I am going to go with the fresh freesia. Open this kind of like a compact, an old-fashioned compact. And I've got my stamp. My sentiment says so very happy for you. And I want it to go a little bit down in that right-hand corner. So, if there's a corner on a circle, right? Is there a corner on a circle? And close that before I get it into anything. And I think I'll also clean my stamp. There we go. Okay, I want to show you a couple of things as well. So I'm getting ready to put my stamp set together. Instead of doing, my card together. Instead of doing this, I could do this. Teeny little bit of pink down there. Okay, so, and this one, this die cut was the middle die cut, whether you go from the bottom or the top. It is the middle die cut for that. And that makes a really beautiful card too. But we're going to stick with this one. So I have stamped my sentiment. Reused that paper, didn't I? But you know, that's the good thing about our papers. It has two sides. Alright, so again, it doesn't matter where I put it on this. What's going to matter is when I get ready to put it on the card. So I've got that on there, and now I am going to use my dimensionals. And I do want to be sure, I almost messed that up, didn't I? That when I put them on here, I do not put anything past this edge. Okay, so about here. Make sure we're still good. There we go. Take those off. The backing's off. And go ahead and put my circle on there. I already have one of these made, and I'll just put it on there in a moment. But I want to show you how I did that. So I took my stamp and I inked it up. And I am using Memento Tuxedo Black ink. Ink it up, push it down. I want to give it some firm pressure. I don't have to do chest compressions, but I do want to give it some firm pressure and let it sit there for a few seconds. Then pull that off. Now I want to use my Stampin' blends, and I am going to use, let's see, these are also the new colors. There's the light and the dark soft succulent, and the light and the dark, let me get the names here so you can see them. Here we go. Pale papaya, light and dark. Okay, I usually start with the dark. Doesn't really matter what you start with, but lay down some color. And I am putting at the bottom of my blossoms a little bit of dark pale papaya. Seems the opposite of what it should be. Notice there are two ends, the chisel point, and I should have let that dry a little bit more. Chisel point and the paintbrush end. And I'm giving it a little bit of a swirl here, so that dark and light blend. And then I'm putting more light at the top. Now if you want to, if you blend that out too much, not that it can be too much, whoop, have to do this one as well, then you can go back with the dark if you'd like, which is not a bad idea. So let's do it. Lay down a little bit more. Now part of the reason I did this before we came on is because see how this really looks dark and does not look blended? It dries to look nicely blended. So don't let that worry you. Again, I want to start with the dark, and I'm just going to kind of go over these stems just a little bit. Give it that illusion of green. Guess it is green. Okay, and then with my light, okay, there we go. And then die cut it. Now, I would have to cut this to put it through my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and do that. So let's cut it out. And the reason I have to cut it is because it's not wide, or it's too wide to go through the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Okay, so I'm going to pull these down my sides, and I need to pull out my cutting plates, and I need 1, 2, and 2. And these are the ones that come with the machine. Put it in there. Put your flour or your paper down. Grab your die. Put it on there. Position it how you want it. You know, do the best you can. You're not going to have it perfect every time. I use a little bit of purple tape that I took off, and I punch it kind of on my skin to get it a little less tacky. And then I'm going to put my second plate number 2 on there and roll it through. Okay, there we go. Put those in there. Oh, I actually don't want to do that. I want to close this up. There we go. Punch this out. And now I have my flower. Okay. I'll go ahead and use, I'll use the new one. All right, and I can put some dimensionals on it if I would like, but I don't really have to. Raises it up a little bit more. And again, I want to make sure I'm not getting those too high up. And maybe I will cut a little bit. I'm going to cut just a smidge off the tips. And I'll just use those tips to go right there. There we go. And I'll use the other half of that to go. Oh, it's got my, it's got 2 different pieces on my leaf. All right. Oh, I got a little bit extra. Cut that out. There we go. Peel all my backs off. That was a little fussy, wasn't it? And there we are. And put my flower. And I want to cover up my sentiment. There we go. Put my flower on there, and I'm good to go. So happy for you. And I've got plenty of room to write on the inside. Now, if you were to come to the inside and you know you've got these bumps for where you've got all your dimensionals, you could put a separate piece of cardstock right there if you chose to do that. But there's our card. Very nice. Don't forget to decorate your envelope. I would probably just stamp this stamp on my envelope. And I thought I had one right here, but I don't seem to. But just stamp it on the front. I wouldn't color it. I would just stamp it on there. It makes my envelope match my card, and we never want to send naked envelopes. So here we go. These are our 2 cards. Pretty cool, huh? All right, have a good one. If you would like to book a show, if it is before the 14th of June, to get that extra $25. If the extra $25 is not available, you can still book a show if you would care to do so. That actually looks pretty nice too, doesn't it? Be sure to give me a thumbs up down below, subscribe, and ring that bell. Thank you so much. I hope you learned something. Have a good one, and we'll see you next time.